it was a passion parties. So you go to private homes and you do it. But I used to do sex tours for 5 years.
Whoa.
Well, here
Okay,
is
yeah,
two
all right.
passion parties right here.
Just hear that drop.
No, do that again.
Do that drop.
Yeah, boy. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to this week's action-packed, exciting episode of the Riffs and
Rhythms podcast. I am Paul Robertson, and I don't know who's sitting next to me. This person looks different from the last people that have been here.
Hey, I am the Kevin McLaughlin.
And he's back!
I'm back.
Man, it feels like forever ago.
It was.
Does it say that absence makes the heart grow fonder? Or no, is that abstinence?
The absinthe.
Absinthe.
That's what they meant
okay.
to say.
Oh, okay. Yeah. So yeah, it's been it's been a minute here. You know,
It has been a minute. You guys have done 2 episodes without me.
Yeah.
They miss
No,
you.
you've done 4 episodes without
That is
me.
correct. That is correct. Yeah,
I have been missing for
too.
That's right.
I've been missing for a month.
Yes, that's right. We'd have had
Sound like it.
two Brad Brock guest host episodes. Then we had 2 Ellie Brock guest episodes. So we've had some real great guests here. You know, Fox Maple was on with us, and
Which I got to meet Fox. We did a show together at Big Fest.
Okay,
At
yeah.
the Martin County Fair.
very cool. Have we had? That show was everyone who was on that night was somebody who was on the podcast, either as a host or a guest.
Cool.
So so welcome back there. So we've got so much to catch up on, and there's been a lot going on since you've been last here in the studio. I'm wearing a Bike Week shirt. Any reason why I would be wearing a Bike Week shirt?
Because you were at Bike Week?
I was.
I saw you there. That's how I know.
Oh, okay.
And on top of all of that, we have the bomb blues singer in the band right here.
So I am told. Yes. This
Yes,
is
as a matter of fact, I'm her new PR person, and her new call sign is the Black Bombshell.
That's
there
it.
you go.
That's it.
So
That's it.
welcome to the podcast, Dottie Kelly. How you doing, Dottie?
Thank you. I'm doing fine. And I see all these good-looking men in here today.
Oh, whoa.
And they didn't pay me to say that either.
Is that the Grand Marinade talking?
No, that's me talking.
Okay. Oh, it makes me feel a whole lot better now.
Yes.
I haven't had enough to say that.
So if you have not yet seen Dottie Kelly perform on stage, you have not truly lived. This woman is a dynamic and powerful performer, and every time I see her, it makes my whole week.
Thank you.
So tell us what you got going on, Dottie.
Oh, my God. What I got going on? First of all, I'm no longer working for corporate America. It's been 4 years.
Oh, look at you.
You know, after the pandemics, I was working for a corporate company out of Boca Raton. And unfortunately, they laid off. And I was in management. So, management, you got to work from home, but they kept the younger people and got rid of the old lady like me. But anyway, so I decided, since I was working, I had a band anyway, I decided to just do it full time. So that's what I decided to do. So now I'm doing it full time now.
Awesome. And what is the biggest change that you've noticed in moving your career from part-time to full-time?
It's a lot of damn work. Picking up equipment, setting up the stage, breaking down the stage. Yeah. I didn't realize, even though I have the guys that help me, but I'm such a go-getter, and I'm a type of person, when something needs to be done, it needs to be done.
Wait a minute. You're a singer, though. So why are you moving all that stuff? You just got to move a microphone, right?
That's who I am.
Right? You're kidding.
No,
There's a singer that carries gear?
Listen.
And you're the one?
I'm the one that carry the gear. I set up my whole stage. When I'm in Fort Myers, I set up my 2 speakers. I set up my PA system. If I have a monitor, which now we have them in our ears, so we don't have to have them. So I set up everything.
Wow.
I break it down. I have bags for everything. But the thing is, my band, they do help me a lot.
Good.
But they tell me to sit down. I don't listen. I don't do what they tell me to do. But they always telling me to sit down because I can hurt myself. So I even pick up Darryl amps, and he don't like that either. Yeah, but I love having a band. So this is what I'm doing full time.
Good, good. So that's we were talking a little bit before the show about how the other podcasts I do started just before COVID, and now COVID was a big game changer for a lot of folks having to figure things out. And yeah, so to be able to say, hey, I mean, I'm sure you feel at times it could be very demanding and you having to do more things, but I'm sure it's also very liberating too.
Yes, 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 yes. I enjoy what I do. It has its ups and downs because a lot of people don't know. Being a woman that's in this kind of industry, I'm a very powerful woman, by the way. I'm not one of those soft. I'm very powerful. So when I mean something, I mean it. We can laugh, we can talk, but when it comes to business, I'm serious. But what I like about this is that when I go to a venue and I say, listen, these are my musicians. If it's anything you don't like, come to me. Don't go to each one of them. Come to me because I'm not going to get it the way you told them. I want you. So that's how I do my business. Even when I call for jobs, I let them know who I am. I give them a little history about my background, and I let them know what agents that I work with, and I go from there.
Cool. So where does this all start with singing, music, and everything, right? Because we know,
Well, everybody know that I started in a church,
okay.
in a Baptist church, and I was in an all-girl group, and I think I was 15, 16, 17, something like that, and I sung gospel for a long, long time, and then one day, I used to live in Clearwater, Florida, near St. Petersburg. So one day I came to visit my family in Fort Lauderdale. My aunt Betty Paget, she always sung with Joey Gilmore. She said, why don't you come and go down to Key West? We going to Jimmy Buffett's Margaritaville. So I went there, and she was singing, and then during break time, they was playing music, and I was sitting there beside her, just humming, just making noise, whatever. She said, you have a nice voice, Dottie. You should get up in background. Well, I was nervous because I was never, in front of a lot of people like that, in a bar at that, because remember, I was a church girl. So I got up, and they were singing, I can't remember the song, and I did a little bit of something. And then all of a sudden, she said, why don't you start singing background? I said, in a band? So I started following her, and I was her background singer for 15 years. So I started, I moved back to West Palm Beach because I was living in Clearwater. I moved back to West Palm, and I started going with her. She was Joey Gilmore's singer, feature singer, and I was backgrounding with that band. And that's how I got started.
Interesting.
And then I go from there. I can tell you how I got started my own band. I just started because I was on what you call it, the Chili Circuit. When you go to Arkansas, Mississippi, and Memphis, and all those places. Her and I were just traveling together. So we bring our tracks, or I would hire a band in whatever state we go to. I would send the music to them and let them listen to all the music. And then we get there, we have a rehearsal, and then we go and we do all these festivals in these cities and states that we. And then after that, she said, your voice is so powerful, you should get your own band one day. And Joey told me the same thing. So that's how I started a band. So I've been singing for over 31 years now.
Oh, wow.
That's awesome. So what's your favorite part about singing on stage?
I like the entertainment. I like getting off the stage. You know how I am. I get my wireless. I get off the stage, and I like to interact with people. I don't like being on the stage, being confined. I like to get off the stage because you hear drums, you hear guitar, you hear bass, and all that going on. Once I get out there, I feel like once I touch somebody and they make them smile, that makes my day or night. It really does.
Awesome.
Isn't it amazing how music has such an impact on people?
Can I tell you something? Speaking of that, one night I was in Delray Beach, and this guy came up to me. Sometimes I think I have sixth sense. This guy came up to me and he said, I would like for you to sing a James Brown song. I said, well, I know I feel good. I can do that one. He said, yes. And he said, I want you to do an Etta James song after you do that. I said, okay. I did Rather Go Blind. Do you know when I finished singing brought tears to my eyes. He gave me $80.
Wow.
I put it in a tip jar. He said, my favorite song was I Feel Good. And his other song was Rather Go Blind. He committed suicide. And when he told me that, I just started crying. I gave him the biggest hug. Out of all the songs that I picked his favorite song. And then when he told me his son committed suicide. Isn't that a sad story? But then he said, but I made his night because I brought back the songs that his son liked. Yeah. So that's a story there.
That's a powerful story.
That's a powerful story. That's a good story. Yeah. Don't do that, Paul. Don't do that to me, baby. Because, I just put all this makeup on.
No, I'm trying not to.
So Etta James.
Yeah.
Now, she's a singer.
Yes, she is. Yes, she is.
She is a singer.
Yes.
And I got to know a little bit more about her watching that documentary about Muscle Shoals.
I watched that.
Wasn't that great?
Oh my God, that was so good.
And the one thing that the producer said is like, she can sing, but if you rile her up, you'll get a take.
Well, let me tell you about Etta James. Now, this is a happy story. I'm going to let you know. No more sad stories, okay? This is a happy story. When you audition for something, you never know if they're going to choose you, right? I have never done a play in my life. So this lady, the Jamaican lady, came up. She said, Dad, I need someone that can do Etta James, Diana Washington, Nina Simone. I was told that you'd be good for Etta James. I said, I can't do a play. I can't remember any lines. I can't remember that. I'm a singer, She said, no. So I did the audition. I did At Last. They hired me. As soon as I finished singing At Last, they hired me. So I did the play. But the thing is, I had to go and learn about Etta James' life. Her life, she had a bad life. She was a great singer, but she was a smoker. She did a lot of drinking. And she just had a bad life. So I had to have a cigarette in my mouth when I was playing her part. I had to do all of that. But when we did the play, it was a small theater, about maybe 90 people. It was sold out. I got a standing ovation. That was the first time I ever had a standing ovation. So that's the story of Etta James that I did. I learned a lot about her. She was a very powerful singer too.
Do you think that, one is, let me ask, is why did you have to do that? Was that part of the research that they told you to do, or was that something that you on your own?
But all the things that they had written, how you're supposed to learn your work and all your lines. But I didn't know what that was about. I said, I didn't know, that she, her and some of the other singers did not get along. So, and then when Diana Washington say something to Etta James, I have to know what to say because it was something pertaining to her life.
Okay.
So that's how they mixed it all together.
I got you. Okay.
Yeah. But Nina Simone, she was more like different from everybody. Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, I was just thinking about some of the movies where actors portray a singer, and they've got to immerse themselves into the character just to be able to come across as
like Jamie Foxx did on Ray.
Exactly,
Yeah.
exactly. Yeah,
Yeah, that was a good performance.
That was a good. Yeah.
So, but that's super cool. So, so going from church to backup singer to in front of your own band and everything, and so what are some of the things you got going on now? In music-wise?
I know we discussed it before we started this, but I'm gonna let Kevin and everybody else know out there in the big world that we're doing this for.
It's the internet. It's everybody.
Yeah, the global. Last Thursday, I opened up my email, and I always wanted to play at Buddy Guy Legend in Chicago, Illinois. So I had reached out myself and sent the email and all that, and I got one of those replies like, "Thank you for applying," blah blah blah. But then I had told my booking agent also that I would love to do that. Because when I do something, I send it to him because I don't ever want him to think that I'm doing something behind his back.
Yeah.
I'm very honest. So I said, I would love to play at Buddy Guy. So when I opened up my email last Thursday, I had a contract, and it says, Buddy Guy, July the 17th. I didn't look at the date. I just said yes. I didn't know was it on a Monday, Tuesday. I didn't know what it was. I said yes. And I looked at the money. I said, oh, sure, okay. And I said, so I called my agent and said, is this a scam? Because I just knew this couldn't be true. He said, no, Dottie, they want you. And I started screaming. I told you I was screaming. I was so excited. I told the band I was so excited. He said, and by the way, we send you on a 14-day tour. We're going to send you to Springfield, Illinois, Columbus, Ohio, Hutchinson, Kansas, and Chicago. And they still basing more states around that. So we're going to go on our first tour out of the state of Florida. I can't wait.
Rock
Starting
on.
July the 16th to the 30th of July.
Oh wow! So this is breaking news.
This is breaking news. Nobody knows this. So this is on your podcast. Riff and Rhyme.
Yeah. Well, congratulations.
Thank you. Thank you.
And it all came from sending that one email.
Well, I've been telling him I want to get out of the state of Florida because you know this, Kevin. When you in Florida, we play the same clubs, and it's not that your fans not going to be there for them. Sometimes you just want them to miss you, and then when they see you again, they go, "Oh, she's back."
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. So
So
I
they-
love my fans. Let me tell you, before you go, I love my fans. Without my fans, we all would not have a JOB. So I always start my show how much I love my fans. And I always tell the fans to support live music because we need live music. I always say that too. And I always tell them thank you. I always end my show with Sly and the Family Stone. Thank you for letting us be ourselves again. Yep.
Oh, we got a little singing there. Yeah.
Yeah. I don't just do blues now. I do soul, R&B, Motown. I don't
Okay.
just do blues. Okay.
Okay. So is this tour? Is it? What type of music is?
It's going to
are
be
you-
blues.
So blues, and is it original stuff or covers or mix? Or?
All the above.
Okay.
But blues and original. I'm gonna do everything.
Yeah, you're
Excellent.
going on tour. You do your show the way you're
Because
comfortable.
they told me to bring all my merchandise, which I have T-shirts. I have. By the way, people know me as Bling Bling, so I wear a lot of Bling Bling hats. So I'm bringing my hats and sell all those things too. Yeah.
Oh, good.
So can we get you to wear a bling bling hat at the upcoming blues?
I'm gonna have to. I think about coming there because I'm singing at Stringers.
Oh, are ya?
What is a new name? Catch the Neighborhood or something like that.
Yeah, something.
Neighborhood. So I'm gonna stop by. I'm gonna try, cause I'm gonna be already down this way.
Well, what are your hours on that day?
It's early. That's why I said they should have had me on that show, cause I get off at 2.
We didn't know that. We would have loved it. You know
They-
what?
they
I'm the
knew.
second to the last band.
Okay.
You could get there in time. Come sing a song with my band.
I will.
I
I would
will-
just come
oh.
out. I just want to be there to support. It's even not about being on the show. It's just that I like being part of the Treasure Coast Blues Society. I love being a part of that.
We'll pick a song so you can come and just light it up.
Very yeah. So
good.
that's great. This is cool seeing a lot of the Treasure Coast Blues. Members are doing tours, getting out there. You've got some stuff coming up as well, and
Oh, really?
it's
Yes, I do.
You coming out, going out of the state?
I am.
far out of the state.
Going out
Yeah.
of the country, right?
I'm going to do a month-long tour of the UK.
Oh, that's nice.
Yeah, it's amazing.
Yeah. What month?
Second half of May and the first half of June.
Oh, okay.
So I'll get back right before you go.
Oh, okay. Okay, good. Congratulations.
Yeah, thanks. It's nice to be able to do a string of shows that you can call a tour.
Yes, yes.
Feels
They've been
good.
They've been trying to get me to go to UK, but every time they set up something, it never work out. So,
Dottie, we jump back to you started in the church. Like I said, I want to go back there.
Okay.
And anywhere along the line, was any training, or is it just
No, it just came
all
natural.
now? Wow. Okay.
and one night I was at Blue Jean Blues in Fort Lauderdale, and I said, "Can I take you guys back to my roots where I started?" I said, "This little light of mine, I'm gonna let it shine." I did that. They're like, I had them. So sometimes that's where it started from.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. That's
Yeah.
great. It's amazing the folks that I've talked to on the other podcast, even it's just who started out in church bands or because you got to have your chops, right?
Right.
Yeah, you just
right.
can't be any old person being in a
Singing
church.
is not some. I know people go the singing classes, and they learn how to sing. But me, I sing from my diaphragm. I don't sing from my throat. I'm not bragging or anything, but I think out of the 31 years, I only probably been hoarse, losing my voice maybe 3 or 4 times.
Okay.
And when I worked for the newspaper for 20 years, never was sick. 20 years, I never called out sick. I have a very good, healthy body. I really do. I'm blessed. Yes, I am. Because I sing a lot. I
Yeah.
work all
Yeah,
the
you
time.
do. And there was something about the sound, and I don't know how to describe it. I can't put my finger on it. But you can always tell a player who came up in the church.
It's something about that. I think it's more like that southern soulful voice that they have.
Well, it's singers and players.
Yeah, the
There's
players,
just,
you definitely could tell the
there's
players.
just a vibe about it, and I don't know what to call it,
Yeah.
but I'll hear someone play it, and I'm like, oh, he's a church player.
Yeah. People ask me all the time.
Yeah, something about that. Because when you're and so I've been exposed to a lot of church players, and there's people singing every weekend. Lady choir singers that make Whitney Houston sound like an amateur.
Oh God, she was good.
She was great, yeah. So, and I love Whitney Houston, but like that kind of quality is going on every Sunday, everywhere around here in the
But
South.
how can you tell from on a musician side? How can you tell?
I,
Is it
I
something
don't know, but it has something to do with the fact that when you are playing in the church, you're a volunteer. So like, especially if you're like a kid who can't sit still, they'll put you on the stage, and then whatever you end up grabbing, then you start playing it, and that's your instrument, and they let you do whatever you're going to do. And there's a certain kind of vibe that comes from that.
Okay.
And I can't put my finger on it. I don't know what the word is for it, but when I hear it, I know.
Yeah. Every time I sing, someone asks me where you started from. In the church, that's the first thing they say. Yeah. But most average singers do start from the church. Most of them.
Yeah.
No matter what color skin they are, they all start from somewhere.
Exactly.
It's always in the church.
And
yeah.
it's a great way to start because you're in there in a choir
Yeah.
and you're belting it out. You got to compete with 30 other loud singers that sound great. And that's what you do.
Well, when I moved back to West Palm, I was in a group called the Ambassador, and it was like 40, I think it was 40 of us, and we used to travel from River Beach, West Palm Beach, different Baptist church, and we just all of us, and was you have your altos, you have your tenor, you have your baritone, you have your soprano, and you have your director. So it was like one of those kind of music where it sounded like your voices, you had to baritone, booze. But that's how I've learned how to control my voice based on how the director said, okay, sopranos, I'm not going to do the soprano. But that's where I was still doing gospel when I moved back here too. Yeah, but I'm going to be a big choir.
Yeah, it's nothing like, the acoustics of a church is just, and the singing and just music in there and just in general, too.
A great Southern Baptist choir just wailing away is a full body emotional experience. I can tell you that.
I do sound at a church, and it's a very fun time.
Yeah.
I did something the other night that the band was not ready for me. I told them to bring it down, and I did everything a cappella. I just let them stop playing. And the choir, and I said, I want everybody. The thing is with me is whatever comes to my mind, I just do it. Like I had a Soul Train line one night, and I had everybody holding my shoulder, and we walked all the way around the whole club. Whatever I feel, people love to participate. And when they participate, they feel like they're part of your show. And you're not just giving them somebody up there singing, you're giving them something to remember. Because half of them are drinking and they want to have fun.
Yeah.
And that's how I'm always thinking. Like sometimes, like when it's a birthday, I bring a big bag. I buy these $2 lottery tickets and I put them in there. And I said, who's celebrating? They don't know what, because sometimes people, they don't want to come up. I said, who's celebrating a birthday? Oh, my name Kevin. Come on up here, Kevin. Let me do something for you. Stick your hand. He's scared. What am I got to stick my hand in here for? And he pull it out, and I have an envelope that says, from Dottie Kelly and Rock the House Band, happy birthday. And then I said, if you win any money, you got to give me half of it. So, I try to keep something,
Oh, that's very
That's what
cool.
I do. I always try to.
That's great.
Yeah.
Hey, like we were talking before the show there, it's like, it's just being able to connect. Again, we all come to see music to experience it and then do something like that, it's something a little different.
Right.
People are gonna remember you.
They're gonna remember me.
Hey, there's that lady that did a birthday.
I
thing
have to
or-
ask,
Yeah.
any big wins on that?
Somebody won $10 one night. That's But listen, I have something to.
Did you get your fiver?
No, I told her to keep it. She was so nice, though. She was a little old lady. I think she turned 83. But listen, this is something that you guys need to know before we go any further. So get your drink.
Oh, hold on.
Get your drink. This is gonna. You drinking water, young man?
Yeah.
That's Devin behind the scenes.
Yes, it's a ghost.
Now, Paul, this is not gonna make you cry. This is gonna make you laugh.
Okay.
When I was working for the newspaper for 20 years, and when the newspaper tanked in 2008, I had a client from State Farm Insurance, and he asked me, Dottie, if I gave you $10,000, what would you do with it? What business would you open up? I said, a shoe store. No. Jewelry. No. Think out of the box, Dottie. I said, everybody love their animals and they love sets. He said, well, why don't you think about one of those businesses? So I opened up a sex toy store. I did private parties. I made $1,000, and I did not want to go back singing anymore. But what happened, of course, I had it for 5 years, and I decided, the lady that, it was a passion parties. So you go to private homes and you do it. So she started giving me territory that wasn't that great anymore. So my money was going down from $1,000 a night to $100 a night. But I used to do sex toys for 5 years.
Whoa.
Well, here
Okay,
is
yeah,
two
all right.
passion parties right here.
Yeah, boy.
No better reason to have a party.
Did you hear that drop?
Do that. No, do that again.
Do that drop.
Yeah, boy.
So I don't have the inventory. I sold everything, so I don't have any more.
Okay.
That's,
Are you sure about that?
I'm sure about that. I had a liquidation sale at Duffy's. I sold everything, and we was at Duffy's. I rented the room, and I had a liquidation sale. I sold everything, lingerie, everything.
Well,
Good to know.
Ross, rock on.
FYI.
That'd be a crazy day to walk into Duffy's.
Yeah, right?
No, it didn't.
Special today.
is
Baked potato and sex toy.
that story.
well, speaking of
Romance cream.
oh boy, wow, we're already there.
Well, that's a bit of Dottie trivia.
Yeah, so you see why I interact with people, because I've been in that kind of
Yeah.
industry, working with sales.
You're a people
working with
person.
I'm a people person. And I have a lot of patience with people, I really do. I have a fan, she said, Dottie, how do you have patience with these drunks? I said, I don't look at them as drunk. I look at somebody needs love right now. They going through something. Sometimes they're drinking for a reason. You never know.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I just love people. Yeah.
So good segue there for Duffy's. Duffy's MVP. If you're an MVP member. So speaking of MVPs, do you have an MVP of the week? That we want to give somebody you want to recognize, like someone who kind of helped you out, or
Sure, my aunt Betty Paget. Yes.
Okay. All
Yeah,
right,
she helped me out a lot with the singing, getting me out here, encouraging me to do what I do, and she always in my corner, always. Her name Betty Paget, Padgett.
I've heard her name.
Oh yeah,
She's a South Florida staple.
yeah, yes she is. She's out there. She's been out there for a while. She sing with Bobby Nathan band. She's the lead singer.
Okay.
Yeah, you ever heard of Bobby Nathan?
Yes, I have.
Yeah, it runs in the family.
Kevin's heard of everybody.
Yes,
Almost.
He's been around.
How long you been doing this, Kevin?
Oh, yeah.
I'm not interviewing
Don't
you.
even want to know. Well, let's see. I have been playing in bars since before it was legal for me to be in there.
Well, that means under 18.
Probably since I was 16, I think I started playing in bars. So that means I've been doing it for 15 years.
I got you. Do you want to turn that 15 around to 51 years?
Probably closer, yeah. No, but I've been like you. I'm an entrepreneur, and I have been lucky enough to make my living without a job since before my daughter was born.
Oh, that's wonderful.
Yep, little tiny companies, like same kind of thing like you like to do, and performing. Now that my kids are grown, and it's cool for me to be gone all the time at night.
Mm-hmm.
I am,
Yes, yes.
and I'm working. I'm on stage. I realize that's what I'm made to do is to make music on stage.
And you feel good doing it. Yeah.
Yeah, because I've tried to not, and I remember it very, very vividly. I was just walking around one day, and I hadn't done a gig in a few years.
Wow, you felt empty.
And my body just started malfunctioning on me. Like I was just like, what the heck is wrong with me? Like,
When I have a weekend off, that's how I feel.
exactly. So I just was like, I got to get back into playing. I can't not do this anymore.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah, the more you play, the more you have to play.
Yeah, yeah. I know that feeling.
Yeah, I don't know.
Every time I think about throwing in the towel sometime, I'm like, do I want to continue to do this? You know, sometimes, because it get kind of rough sometimes with, being a female, trying to handle a band.
Yeah.
And then dealing with people not getting back with you. And you know what bothers me? And I said this to all of my friends. When someone send me a text and they ask me a question, I'm going to reply back to you. But sometimes when you send venues questions and they never, it's like, they want us to reply to them, but they don't reply. That bothers me because I like, even if you say I'm busy, just let me do. But when you ignore me, I feel so bad.
Just gotta acknowledge.
That is bad form in any arena.
Yeah, because, I feel like we all here together as a family, regardless of what. If you ask me, Dottie, is you available on May 10th? And I tell you, I looked at my calendar, no, I'm not. I replied back to you. But if I would have ignored you, you wouldn't like that.
Right.
And I get that a lot. That's when I want to throw in the towel. I'm like, oh, my God, I can't do this more.
Yeah.
But I have to learn that, people are busy. They have other things going on. It's not about you. I talk, by the way, I do self-awareness. I talk to myself all the time. Dottie, it's not about you. Get over it. Mm-hmm. That's what I do.
Yeah. That's good. You got some good perspective then.
Yeah.
Good God, I wish more people did that.
Oh, I do it all the time. Yeah.
Funny. So the sex party story was that a Tales from the Road or
What?
do you got a good Tales from the Road story, a show, or was
No,
that
we're not going to let that count as a.
Okay,
No, that's
okay.
not- no,
That's
that's that was just something I wanted to
Little-
put a smile on your face
Oh,
after
yeah.
the sad story. I just wanted you to smile.
Thank you.
Yeah, those passion
Yes.
parties are cool.
Yeah, they passed by. I had some nice
Yeah.
parties.
They are
Nice.
cool.
Yes. I had co-ed, all kind of parties. Yeah.
Ooh,
Yeah, it was nice.
there you go.
I've had to stay locked in the bedroom while all the women were out there doing
Yes.
the passion party.
Yeah.
And
They
just not even knowing what they're looking at, just hearing them react. It's like, oh,
He told it was a Tupperware party. It was different kind of plastic.
Do not come.
What are you doing over there? Oh, so you want me to know something about the road?
Yeah, you got a good story where you got some crazy story that's happened, and anybody fall off stage or?
Well, I know I did. I mean,
Oh,
I was in a rock band then. I was in Miami, Florida, and I was on this high stage, and the guitar player was a rocker, right? And all of a sudden, I wear heels. My heel got caught in his guitar cord, and by the time I was singing, whatever I was singing, I hit the floor, hit the back of my head. I bounced back up and started back singing.
so you landed on your hair, so it was all right.
My hair saved me.
That is
It
awesome.
saved me. I got back up and started singing. But the next day, I was sore as hell.
That is a rock and roll story if I've ever heard one.
I definitely did that. And everybody came to check on me, make sure I was okay. I'm like, I'm okay. And I started by singing. I just jumped up and stuff. But the stage was way up there. Higher than the one that we do at Kunky Joe's, way up there.
Oh, man.
Yeah, it was big like that, but it was high. And I just went back. So, yeah, I fell off the stage.
why is this such a problem with you guys? People falling off stages.
Well, because there's an edge there.
Yeah.
When you're in the zone, you can't tell where an edge is.
Yeah.
You guys, it happened to you too, didn't it?
Almost.
Did you fall off the
You told the
stage?
story
I
about
was
falling
close.
off.
Oh, okay.
I was at a rickety ass stage in a parking lot in Main Street in Daytona, where all the biker bars are, and there was no back lip for the drum seat. So every time
Oh no.
my throne kept on sliding backwards, and there was luckily people behind me because they saw that it was like, oh, this guy's gonna go off ass over tea kettle, and they were just waiting there like just to catch me if I was gonna go off the stage. It would have been a total Spinal Tap moment, especially for the drummers, right?
Well, a proper stage on the backside has a tow rail, so that at least
Yeah.
you're not going to slide off the edge and your gear's not going to roll
But
off the
didn't you
edge.
have one of those carpet that you lay down?
I didn't. It didn't cover for the throne.
Oh,
just
okay.
just the
Just
just
for
the
the-
bass drum. Yeah.
What happened to me before, I was at Concord Joe's, the old side. Like I said, I wear heels, but I had taken off my heels because I only had like one more song to do. And somebody wasted grease on the floor. And I went, zoop. Oh. The next day, all this was, matter of fact, I'm just able to raise my arm. This happened 2 years ago. Oh. Yeah, I went to therapy and everything. Oh, you can sue. I didn't want to sue anybody. I just wanted to be okay,
Yeah.
But it happened. Somebody must have wasted grease because I went this way, both. I jumped back up and started singing again. I don't like nobody to look at me when I fall, so I just jump up.
Devin, what is it? What is that like? From Monty Python's like, oh, just a flesh wound.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Everybody put everything on Facebook and YouTube, so I don't want to be the laughing stock.
Oh,
Yeah, she bust her ass.
that's not how I want to be known on the internet.
Right. But imagine do legs up in there,
And yet you do this podcast.
Yeah, right.
So those are my funny stories.
Well, cool. So it's that's a lot of interesting stuff here. And part of the Blue Society here.
Yeah, the
so-
Treasure Coast Blue Society.
Yeah.
We were both friends of the Treasure Coast Blue
I'm
Society.
part of this Blue Society, yes.
So
They helped me out a lot. They really have helped me out a lot.
Yeah. So if you haven't checked out Treasure Coast Blue Society, you got to do it. tcblues.com or .org,
Back over.
tcblues.org, or treasurecoastbluesociety.org.
what's it say on the flyer? There you go.
Oh, yeah, we got
there
a
you go.
flyer. Anyway,
Yep.
just look it up.
There you go. Yeah, right behind Dottie.
And keeping the blues alive.
Yes, got to.
Yep. And you're an IBC veteran as well as I am.
Yeah, I came in the what I experienced going to Memphis for that IBC is I was so nervous. God knows I was nervous. But when Darren and I went as a duo, we went in. Well, he already been through this before, but I had never been. I was so nervous, and I don't like the cue cards. That's what scared me, the time. Because, in the time, when you get down to 30 seconds, you better. So I always wait till 1 minute. That was my cue. And I take this fits up. I know it's time to stop singing. But I learned being in the IBC is that it was 250 bands at that time. And out of those 250 bands, we came in the top 10.
Wow.
So that was pretty good.
That is really
That's
good.
great.
And I was the only female out of those 250 that came in the top 10. So I represented Florida, so I always told the Treasure Coast, thank you for doing that. Because without them, I would have never had that
opportunity,
experience.
yeah.
But I would never do that again. My blood pressure was so high. I was so nervous. I was so. The doctor took my blood pressure. They would not let me get up until my blood pressure got down. I was so nervous. Because the thing is, I'm not good with time. I don't like time. I'm a free bird. I like to just do whatever the hell I want to do. But that guy kept throwing those cards up like, oh, Jesus. So Dad said, Dottie, just do it. Stop thinking. I'm a thinker, too. I'm a Pisces. I'm a fish,
Just keep swimming.
Yeah, there you go. But I thank Treasure Coast. I really want to say that over and over. I thank you guys so much. Blues Society.
There you go.
They taken me out for my birthday Thursday. The whole Blues Society.
Ooh.
All the ladies.
Oh, okay.
Oh, yes,
Nice.
yes. It's going to be a Treasure Coast Blues Society ladies party.
Yes,
Oh.
on Thursday we're going to Chili's
Oh,
on Jensen Beach.
Nice.
and you'll see Devin there with his.
Did you work at Chili's?
We're going with that.
I was trying to make a reference to that you've picked up where Dottie left off with sex party toy stuff.
Oh, yeah. He was the sole purchaser at her liquidation sale. And he still has liquid left.
Aww. Jesus. Yeah. So the
Paul is turning red.
I'm going through all the emotions here tonight. Aren't I?
Yeah.
No, I do not work at Chili's.
Okay.
Do you want your baby back?
Yes.
Baby back ribs.
That's right. Yeah.
He's got a secret code. If you order the baby back rib rare, then he knows you want some silicone.
Kevin, you pretty good at this.
That's how I know they want a good ribbing.
Whoa! Look at you. And you didn't give yourself the air horn or no? Yeah, you forgot to.
Give myself a singular quiet one.
Okay,
There you go.
the golf clap. There you go. So, too funny. So yeah, it's so what in Memphis? Was it cold? Like I guess
Well, see,
everyone.
I went in May. I went
Oh.
during the time when they had the Blues Foundation. They had the other award going on.
Okay.
So I went in May because I went during 2022. So they didn't have it.
Oh, because it was all off track because of
Because of the pandemic.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, so they postponed everything.
yeah, that's to your benefit.
That was great because I heard January is cold. And I don't like cold. I used to live in D.C., Maryland. I stayed there 1 year and I came back to Florida. I kept saying when I was working for Merrill Lynch, I was an underwriter. They kept saying, go back to Florida. I said, don't worry. When I had to pay to park to go shopping in a mall, and I was working in Bethesda, Maryland, they told me that, I kept saying, I don't like this. I don't like this. But go back to Florida. I came and gave my notice, and I came back to Florida. And I've been here ever since. So I don't want to ever live up. No, too cold.
No, it's cold there. And there's no sun in the wintertime. It's depressing.
So I saw some of the pictures that they have on Facebook. It's cold in Memphis.
It's cold in Memphis. Well, January 18th is typically the coldest day of the year in North America, and that's the
They
weekend.
got snow last year. Did they get snow last year? They got snow.
This year and last year.
Oh, yeah. Wow.
Yeah. We can vouch.
We can vouch for that. Paul was the official podcaster for the Kevin McLaughlin Band's trip to the IBC.
Oh, you are? Oh, okay.
And it was cold.
It was cold.
It was cold.
No
yeah.
matter how many jackets you have or gloves, it doesn't matter.
Well, if 7 degrees is cold for you, that was what it was.
7?
7.
It was It was one of those snowmageddons that coming up from Florida, we were like driving towards like have you ever watched Game of Thrones when winter is coming? It was literally winter was coming. you know?
Wow. Jeez.
I mean, the whole town was closed for the whole week because they didn't snowplow any of the side streets or anything.
But that was a great experience for me, though. Then I tried out the Villages in Orlando. Asked me to try with my band. And we got to, we did the IBC challenge and everything. But I was so glad that we didn't win because I didn't want to go in that cold weather. But it was very nice.
What year was that?
2023.
So
Wait, hold on.
was it Shaylin Band who won that one?
Shaylin Band.
Yeah, we saw them.
saw them.
They're a great band.
Yeah. They're good. Now, they do all originals, too.
Yeah, they do.
Yeah, they're a very good band.
Yeah, we had a good time. They played at the same spot as us in Alfred's.
Oh, so you was there that year they played.
Yeah.
But they didn't. Did they make it to the final?
I
don't
can't
think so.
remember if they did.
I don't think so.
No, I
I
don't.
don't think they did.
No.
They came out of the second room.
They made it. Yeah, they came out of the second room, but they didn't make it to the theater.
They're
Yeah,
very good.
yeah.
I love this. I love her energy on stage.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, that's what I like about singers when they're moving around and dancing and having a good time. That's what people love to see.
Yeah.
It's a show. It's called showmanship.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think we saw them. Right. They followed you, and then we saw them the next night.
Yeah,
over-
some other bar. I can't remember which one.
Word of a not Johnny Cash, Great Balls of Fire guy. Yeah,
Carl Perkins.
no, the other guy, the piano guy. Anyway, I'm trying
But
to.
it seems like the person that follows me and I follow him is J.P. Swords. I'm always seem like we
Yeah, JP's
between
great.
Cottonmouth and then we down. It just seems like we're always in the same places all the time. I always tell him, I'm following you. He's such a nice guy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So Dottie, we're We got so much I know we want to talk about right here. So I know we're running out of time here. So can you come back next week?
Sure.
Okay. So, but before we wrap up here, what do you got coming up show wise? Like the end of March, beginning of April.
I know March the 28th, I'm at a new place called Josephine. It's in Stewart. The 20, that Saturday, I'm at the beach bar. I do a lot at the beach bar, which is in Fort Myers Beach.
Okay.
And then the following week, I'm in Riviera Beach. And then I'm down in Lou Key. That's down in the Keys. I do a lot in the Keys. Yes.
So not to get into details, but so those gigs that you've got to travel across the state down south, they apparently paid good enough to be able to travel and make that effort, right?
Well, let me explain something to you. This should be on your podcast.
Well, that's why it's not. We're still recording.
This is going to be nice. What I'm going to tell you, you may not agree with it, but this is something that I do, and it's because I have OCD. I rent a van when I go out of town. I have my guys to park their car at my house. I do all the driving because I don't smoke pot. I don't do anything. Sip. Then I make sure I do the gas. I pump the gas. I don't let them pump gas. I don't let them do anything. All I want them to do is sleep. So when we get to our venue, you have no reason not to give a good show. You didn't drive. You didn't pump gas. And people say, Dottie, that's control. No, it's called. That's the way I like. I like everybody to be there on time. We start on time. And that's how I've been doing it for the past few years. That's how I've been.
So you're almost like the band mom.
That's what they call me. But that's good.
Right.
Because if you got someone that's smoking weed,
Yeah.
you got somebody drinking, they don't have to do that. If they are in the car with me, they can do when they get to the venue.
Okay.
Yeah, you don't have to worry about if they're going to make it or not.
I
'cause
worried
they're
a
in the
lot.
back seat.
Because I had a drummer that had a flat tire and he didn't make it. Drummer didn't make it, and he was late. And I said this would never ever happen. This happened many, many years ago.
Why'd you look at me?
Because you're a drummer, but I'm just letting you know,
no.
drummer. That it was a drummer.
I'm getting a little. Wow, you guys ganging up on me now?
Yeah, absolutely.
But a lot of folks say, Dada, why do you do that? This is how I look at it. I don't care because I look if one of my shows pay for that, that's fine. I make it up in the tip.
Yeah.
And I share my tips. And I'm very fair. I'm good to my guys. I'm very good to my guys. Sometimes I'd rather them to make money than me. I just want them to realize that I'm very caring. I love them a lot. I really do. And we are a family. That's what I like about my band. I love my band.
How long have you been with your band?
Daryl, I've been playing with him over 31 years because we started in other bands together. George, my bass player, I've been playing with him. He's been playing with me over 17 years. And the drummer that I have now, Mark, he's been playing with me for 3 years. And I have Travis 10 years and Maurice about 15, 16 years.
Okay.
Yeah.
That is, I think we all would agree, is one of the important things is being able to have a good group of musicians that you can always count on or get along with half of it, right?
Yeah.
Or
I didn't say I got along with him. I just said,
Oh,
no,
okay.
I'm just kidding.
We'll edit that part
I'm
out.
just kidding. Yeah, I do.
Well, so very cool. So yeah, so all right, so then you got to check out there. I've definitely will come see you, Dottie. I've can't believe I haven't seen you yet, but
You never seen? Really?
No, I don't get out much. So
And you live?
He literally doesn't get out much.
Oh,
No,
okay.
I'm
He's a busy man. Making all the money. That's what happened.
that's right.
Yeah,
Sorry, I got nothing. If you're hitting me up for money
You're
right
going to
now.
be there, so you get a chance to hear me then.
If I'm gonna be there, you gonna be there, and I want you guys to figure out what song you're gonna do together. Okay?
Okay.
Yeah,
All right.
we'll get a barn burner.
Yeah, that's
We'll do
right.
something.
That's right. You tear it up. That's right. So yeah, Devin and I, we got to do a little planning at this event here since it's a big Treasure Coast Blues Society event coming up here. So yeah, so would you like to do the little bit of the talk about the little
all
event?
right.
Yeah. So
I
yeah,
would
sure.
be happy to.
Okay.
We are having the Treasure Coast Blues Society, along with Filthy's Fine Cocktails and Vero, is having the Big Blues Blast. And it's
Can you hold it up a bit more? It's hard to see.
So we got a bunch of fine blues players on the Treasure Coast all on one stage. We got Cedric Talton. We got,
Here.
Dave Scott and the Reckless Shots are the headliner. And then we got Kevin McLaughlin, Cedric Talton, Hawk and the Invaders, and Skylar Burrell is playing as well. So this is just the first. Of
Only
a number-
$5 in
Yeah, it's
advance.
only $5 in advance. Go to the website at tcblues.org. And this is the first in a series of blues events that the society is going to be putting on. And there's so many great players on the Treasure Coast and the surrounding areas that it was really, really hard to pick the lineup for this because, like, you're not on here, and that's not right.
Yeah.
There are a number of other artists that should be on here, and that's not right. We had you on the list, and then we had to like cut it back to just this many bands because we just couldn't.
I know. They told me. Yeah.
So that means we'll be doing more, which you will definitely be included on. And, of course, the Riffs and Rhythms ongoing festival series will include the Dottie Kelly.
Yep.
And keep your eye out on the Treasure Coast Blues Society because there'll be a ton of cool events coming in the future. We're in the negotiating phases with a number of venues, and there's going to be a lot of cool stuff going on.
Good.
The blues is back.
Ooh, is that a Jake call back the Jake Walden
That's
song
a
we reviewed?
Jake Walden song.
That's right. That's right.
Blues is back.
Yeah.
Blues is back.
So, Dottie, we're totally awesome. I can't wait to talk a little bit more with you next week. Get into a little bit more in the next episode there, and we'll dive a little further in there. And
Thank you.
I'm so glad.
Thank you guys for inviting me.
Yeah, you've got.
Can't wait to come back to see you.
You're like such a positive ray of. And
I
I've
am.
only, we've only been an hour ish. Mm-hmm. But yeah, you put off such a great vibe.
Thank you. I get that all the time.
Yeah, awesome.
My oil.
I may, I may have to, if you come on down here, if he's not going to be around for an episode, you can come on and sit in the seat here with me.
Okay.
Oh, look at it. You're
I
already
would
pushing
love
me
to
off
do
of
it.
the chair
Would
right
you-
in front of people.
Wouldn't you do the same to me? Wouldn't you rather have Dottie instead of me?
In a heartbeat.
Okay. I would come. I would definitely be here.
Thanks, Kevin.
Well, you asked, so.
You weren't supposed to do that.
That's right. Yeah, that's right. So don't forget to check out our man behind the not behind the camera there, or well, I guess you are behind the camera, just not on camera. There,
Adjacent to the camera.
There you go. The Ghost and the Ox there. So Jeff, check out the Ghost on the Ox podcast. So Devin and his band of merry
We're
men.
doing a lot of new episodes of Box Thoughts.
Okay.
Check those out.
Oh boy, those are the good ones, right?
Yeah.
Wait, episodes of what?
Box Thoughts.
And what is that?
So the hot box.
Box Thoughts is it used to be a different thing, but we've rebooted it, and now it's the Chat with the Homies podcast, and Ghost on the Ox is the main show with special guests.
Are you saying box sluts?
No, Box Thoughts,
Oh, box thoughts.
as in like your imagination,
Oh,
things
my.
that come from your brain.
Oh,
Well, I
yeah,
think-
there's a lot of things coming from my
No,
brain,
actually,
apparently.
what the show started as a bonus show that we would do occasionally, where me and the friends would hotbox the garage. We'd smoke a bunch and then just record, off the cuff, no
okay.
planning necessary, and we just talk. And now it's still kind of that, except it's online. We stream. Talk in a call and. Yeah. Anyways, that's the thing we're doing. Ghost on the Ox is gonna have special guests coming soon.
Oh, okay.
Very
All
good,
right.
very good.
It's we were the Christmas
Chris
Kwanzaa
Mahana Kwanzaa.
was so far one of your best episodes still.
Yeah.
All right. Yeah.
Very
so
cool. Glad
Thank
to
you
have
for
been a
that.
part of that.
That's right. It was kind of crazy.
I'm gonna keep
conversation.
being a clout goblin and collab with you guys some more.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah. So definitely check out the Ghost and the Ox there. Devin and his podcast there on the Apple, Spotify, everywhere you can get all your stuff. Check out obviously our stuff here. So subscribe again if you're listening to. If you made it all the way through this episode, thank you. Right, that's huge. Right, the watch hours is important on YouTube and all those things there. Audio, right? We got a great little podcast network growing here. There's with the Jams and the Cocktails, Jams and the Cocktails, Jams and Cocktails. Check out Brad Brock's show there with the Destruction Crew. Sometimes Kevin and I will show up on that show, and most recently we have as well. And he's got some really, kudos to Brad. We were talking about recently about some of the episodes, the audio format. And so if you check us out on B3 Podcast Network, Bands, Brands, and Booze Podcast Network, B3 is the logo. You'll see there on the screen there somewhere. And he's got some really good, his music episodes. He's talked about like Smokey Robinson episode, and he's talking about some music episodes. And it's really
got a lot of attention.
He's got it's really hitting audio wise. It's really hitting. So I mean, definitely great content there. So check that out there. Again, listen to his show there. His live stream is every Wednesday night at 8 p.m. on YouTube. The Jams and Cocktails podcast is on YouTube. And then Thursday is the replay on audio stream, Apple, Spotify, etc. And so check it out. And again, if you like what we do, that's the hope. Is if you like what we're doing and what they're doing. Yep.
And for the record, Box Lots is usually coming out Tuesdays.
Okay, there you go.
So you got Tuesday, Wednesdays, and Thursdays.
That's right. Yeah. So we've got a whole lot of stuff going on here. So so check out all these shows here. Like, subscribe, do all the stuff. We need to give us some rating here. B3 Podcast Network. Check out the Kevin McLaughlin website there. Check out some local music there. Check out Dottie Kelly.
.com.
So DOTTIEKELLEY.com. So So do not come up to her and ask her when she's performing. Just go to the damn website.
Yes. And read the whole post.
That's right. And read. She didn't the 7-foot banner that she has with all the QR codes and all these things.
Yes.
It's like, tell me where the bathroom is and the sign is right in front of you, right? Come on, people.
Do that all the time, man.
Yep, all the time.
Reading is fundamental.
Yes. I think everybody likes shortcuts now.
That's right.
Well,
that's
it's
right.
gotten better. I use Canva, and I put the words on the picture, and that has helped bring that down a little bit when you put the words on the picture.
Oh.
Like you make a show poster and then put that on Facebook. People look at the picture and then somehow the words get into their brain without them reading it.
Oh.
It went into the metaverse, into their brains, and so forth. But yeah, you're right about the short attention span, because this weekend I was looking at old pictures, and I was holding a physical picture, and I went to go pinch zoom on the picture. I'm like, oh my God, what the fuck am I doing? Anyway, we're going to end on the podcast on that note there.
He is such a drummer.
Yeah, that's right, yeah. I don't get out much, that's why. So, all right, so let's wrap this sucker up here, and
Well, it's good to be back.
yeah, welcome back.
And thank you. Thanks for letting me back in. I was beating on the door the whole time.
Oh,
Thank you, Kevin, for inviting me.
That's
Dottie,
Thank you guys
this is
so
such a
much.
good
Thank
episode.
you, Paul, for meeting Paul and Devin over there. It's so nice meeting you all.
So, ladies and gentlemen, congratulations for making it all the way to the end of this episode alive. So, here we are, concluding this episode of the Riffs and
Rhythms podcast,
I'm Kevin McLaughlin.
and I'm Paul Robertson.
See you next week.
Cheers.
Yes.